Hola amigos investors, how are you today? My name is Juan Estrella and I'm going to talk about American Airlines. So let's get started. Okay guys, so we have an American Airlines group. It's an American airline. It gets its revenue from operating domestic and international flights from its hubs based in USA. The main competitors we have are Delta, Lufthansa, United Airlines, Air France KLM, and International Airlines Group. Now jumping to the numbers, currently we don't have a PE ratio. The forward PE ratio is currently of 311.85. And yeah, it's pretty high. Remember that the best case scenario is just to have a forward PE of 20 or less, but 300, yeah, you can just keep in mind this number. Price to book, also we don't have a price to book, so now we will just jump to the next number. In this case, I just want to show you the range for the price to sales, and currently we have an average of 0.64, an average of 0.30. By the time I'm just recording this video, right now is an average of 0.60. So if you can just wait a little bit, my advice is just to try to wait until 0.33, as currently the forward PE ratio is too high. Now the equities, as you see, every report is lower and lower, and you can just keep in mind. And as the last report for the quarter of 2020, the result it was minus $6.87 billion. Now, if we just jump to the current ratio, also they are just they are basically near to zero. If we just compare the last three reports, the first report it was 0.77, the second one it was 0.74, and finally the one that currently we have is an average of 0.67. So you can just keep in mind that every report it seems that they are losing money, and in the future they will be it will be very hard for American Airlines just to pay their debts. Jumping with the value area, also we don't have enough data just to show. As you see, the sector media it's 25 in average. However, in the American Airlines we don't have enough data to show. Also, American Airlines, as a kind reminder, it doesn't provide any forward dividends. Now jumping with the indicators, the first one is the Bollinger indicator, and by the time I just recorded this video, it closed to $134, and yes, it's basically on the middle. It's not on the area to buy nor sell. And also on the relative strength indicator, basically is also on the neutral area, not overselling, not overbuying. And by the time I'm just recording, currently is on 52.65. If we now can we can just compare the valuation for this specific stock, and if we just compare for the forward PE ratio for the last years, we will also have a much better idea. For this year, we don't have enough data just to show. In 2020, it was a negative of 3.23. 2019, it was plus 4.99. 2019, 6.16. 2017, 9.91. 2016, 9.80. And 2015, it was at 7. Before to show you the technical analysis, I just want to mention about the reports. As you see, since the pandemic, problem with the last year in 2020, as you see, it was trying just to get more earnings per share. However, all the year, it was practically losing money. And now for the last report that it was shown on the January 28th, 2021, as it was reported a loss of $3.81, and the estimates they were the investors they were expecting a loss of $4.11. and even though that it was a loss, the investors were expecting um, a loss. And now is when we have a little bit good news about this specific report, that it was a surprise of plus 7.38%. Now, the next report that I also want to compare is the report, the earnings per share for the last year, so we can just see if this stock is also okay. And for the 2020, it was a loss of the $3.80. And if we just compare for the last year in 2019 with the same quarter, it was an earnings of 0.95 cents. 95 cents, sorry. And yeah, I just want to show you this one. It was a comparison that, remember that for the pandemic problem that we were just having, that's the reason all the airlines were hitting very hard, and you can just see all the loss, all the loss in comparison with the last year, that the last year it was actually a plus number. Okay guys, so let's jump into the technical analysis. As a kind reminder before starting, I just want to show you that I just want to compare, I just want to provide you another extra data and I will just put it in pink. There is a pink resistance that I just add. It's not very strong, but at least you can just have an idea that before the pandemic problem in the last year, we had an in average of the January 28, 2020. So of this stock, it was in average of 27.05. So you can just keep in mind in case that you are expecting that this stock can be can go up in the next couple weeks, months, or yeah, I don't want to hear that maybe it will be the next years, but yeah, at least you can just have an idea. For the next data that I just want to show you. Perfect. Okay, so yeah, now as you see, I just identified a different resistance. The first one is the green area, that this is the best case scenario for the people who wants to go on the long term. However, I don't recommend you just to go on to the long term, because right now for the last numbers that I just show you, we were just having some numbers that I a little bit concerned about it. So if you are just expecting just to buy some stocks for the airlines, keep in mind that this is something that you can just be aware that it's a stock that on the weak balance. And now the best case scenario for this stock is we are expecting that in the green area it would be on the $10 with 91 cents. The next resistance that we identified is $13 with 90 cents. The next one is $15 with 8 cents. The next one that is not very strong, but I just identified, it was $16 with 26 cents average. The next one, it was $17 with 93 cents. And finally, we have the another resistance of hopefully on the $20 with 8 cents. And now, as again, for the pink area, that we are just expecting just to have at least for this specific price, but depending on this, because almost all the numbers indicate some kind of negativity, and hopefully in the future, when this pandemic problem finishes, hopefully we can just have these much better healthy numbers for the airlines. Now, finally, I just want to show you the performance for this specific stock. So by the time I'm just reporting this video, the last week it was an average of negative 1.40. The last month it was 2.60. The last 3 months it was a plus of 19.43. The last 6 months it was an earnings of 39.01%. The last year it was an average of 1.48%. Sorry, for this year, for the current year, it was an earnings of 1.48%, and finally for the last year, it was an average of earnings of 42.34%. Okay, guys, so thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one.